strange places at night. Corridors stretch endlessly. Lights flicker without reason. And silence, heavy and suffocating, seeps into every corner. After Jacob's disappearance, the hospital moved on quickly. Too quickly. His name was erased from the schedule. His belongings boxed up and removed. Officially, he had quit without notice. But the nurses knew better. They always did. A week later, a new guard was hired. His name was Ryan. He was younger than Jacob, less cautious. He laughed when the staff warned him about the long nights. He thought he could handle the job. A paycheck was a paycheck, but there were rules. Rules no one explained. Rules whispered only in passing, if at all. And the most important one was this. The night shift comes in threes. The first night is when you see it at a distance. The second night is when it gets closer. And the third night is when it reaches you. Ryan didn't believe in rules. Not until the first night. It was just past midnight. The halls were quiet. The monitors flickered softly in the security office. Ryan strolled the east wing, whistling, trying to fight the boredom. And that's when he saw it. At the far end of the corridor, a tall silhouette, standing perfectly still, facing him. He called out, his voice echoing down the hall. No answer. He lifted his flashlight, and for a second, the beam seemed to cut straight through it. And then, it was gone. The corridor stood empty. Ryan laughed nervously, brushing it off. A shadow, a reflection, his mind playing tricks on him. But the nurses knew. That was night one. The second night was different. Ryan made his rounds, eyes sharper this time, steps quicker. And again, he saw it. Not far away, not vague, but close. In the reflection of a window, standing behind him. In the glass of a locked door, watching him from the other side. And once, leaning in a doorway, as though waiting for him to step closer. Each time, it vanished when he blinked. Each time, it reappeared somewhere else. Ryan stopped whistling, stopped smiling. By 3 a.m., he was sweating, clutching his flashlight so tightly his knuckles were white. He returned to the office, closed the door, and tried to convince himself he'd imagined it all. But when he glanced at the monitors, his stomach turned. Camera 4, the stairwell. There, scratched into the wall, were words that hadn't been there before. Asterisk asterisk, don't follow it. Asterisk asterisk. Ryan blinked, leaned closer to the screen. But when he went to check the stairwell himself, the wall was smooth, clean, empty. And yet, when he returned to the monitors, the message was there again. The nurses whispered to each other the next morning. They counted softly, their voices low. 1, 2. They knew what was coming. The third night, Ryan tried to quit that evening. He begged the supervisor, claiming illness, family emergencies, anything to avoid coming back. But the hospital refused. You signed the contract, they reminded him. Finish the week. So he returned. The halls were darker that night. The lights flickered longer. The silence felt heavier. And the figure no longer kept its distance. Ryan saw it the moment he stepped inside. Standing at the far end of the lobby, waiting. He didn't move closer. He didn't make his rounds. He locked himself in the office, staring at the monitors, gripping his radio like a weapon. But the figure didn't stay in the lobby. It appeared on the cameras, moving slowly, methodically. First the east wing, then the second floor, then the stairwell. Each time, it was closer, until the cameras showed it right outside the office door. Ryan's breath hitched. He locked the handle, pressed his back to the wall. The monitors flickered, static cutting across the screens. And then, silence. When the static cleared, the figure was gone. But Ryan wasn't alone. Because when he turned, heart pounding, eyes wide, it was there. Inside the office. Closer than ever. The next morning, The nurses weren't surprised when the office sat empty. Ryan was gone. His radio lay on the floor. His flashlight snapped in half. Another disappearance. Another casualty of the night shift. The nurses whispered again, shaking their heads. 1, 2, 3. The rule had been followed. The pattern never broke. But the question remains. What is it? Where did it come from? In episode 3, the origin of the night shift figure will be revealed. Make sure you subscribe because the truth is darker than the halls themselves.